my channel. My name is Arielle, and while Sam is in the living room editing some photos, I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to pop in here with you guys and chat a little bit about my acne healing story. So I have I think my last treatment appointment in about 30 minutes. So I'm gonna take you guys along for that journey. And before I head out, I just wanna chat a little bit about my journey, when my acne came along, what's worked for me, what didn't work, that sort of deal. And you know, I've sat down and I've actually tried to record this a couple of different times, and it's just so hard to decide what's relevant to share with you, because I feel like if I share everything, this video is gonna be like an hour long. So I've decided I'm just gonna stick in this video more to the key components that I think played a big role. Try not to like elaborate too much, but I just want to make an offering, especially here in the beginning. If there's anything you want me to expand upon, just comment down below any questions that you might have, and I'd be happy to do a follow-up video to this if it's needed. I just don't want to make this an hour-long video. Okay, so first and foremost, there's a couple things I want to get out of the way, and the first is I'm not a dermatologist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist. I have worked with people over the last few years that check all those boxes, and I think that it is really important to work with professionals that you resonate with. When I first started this journey, I was really resistant to working with professionals because I'd basically been let down so many times, and I know a lot of people have experienced that. And so what I'd say is, like, for me, the real solution was finding people who shared similar ideology as me as far as like how the human body works. And I personally like a more natural approach, and it did take me time to find professionals out there that shared that same philosophy. So just know that I think it's really helpful to work with professionals, but I do think it's also really helpful to really seek out ones that you resonate with, because for me, there were a lot of people over the years that I worked with that I really didn't resonate with, and it made me feel more disempowered than empowered. But I myself am not a professional in those things. I'm very passionate about health and wellness, and I've definitely been on quite the journey with all of it. So my intention for today's video is just to share what worked for me, and if you find any of it helpful, that's amazing. But just know that all of our acne, all of our health issues, they have different roots. You know, we've all lived different lives. We've all had different outside factors impact our internal factors. And so not everybody with acne has acne for the same reasons. So if something works for me, it may work for you, but it also might not. It might not be your solution. I know that there were tons of things that I tried from people online that did really help me, but there are also tons of things I tried that had literally no impact whatsoever. So this has just been my journey. And then the second piece is I do actually have a little bit of makeup on right now. My skin does look really nice though. But yeah, I'm gonna have to take it all off for the treatment, so you guys will get to see my skin barefaced here in a couple minutes. And really with this treatment, it's just pretty much my skin is smooth. My acne, I get, you know, 1 or 2 zits a month, so nothing too crazy, but I still get, you know, I'm still a human being. I still get stressed. I still have hormones. And this last treatment is just to get kind of the last little bit of scarring, hopefully. Okay, so jumping in, because we aren't like cars and we can't plug ourselves into a diagnostic machine and be told like, this is what's happening. Some of these things are just intuitional guesses and just what professionals have told me over the years about the root causes of my acne. I got acne in around 22 for the first time when I went off of the birth control pill. So for me, the 2 biggest factors that, or I guess I'll say 3 biggest factors that I think impacted me having acne in the first place was the birth control pill, being on it at a really young age, and the impact that that has on your hormones and your ability to regulate your own hormones. The second piece is antibiotics. Antibiotics, both birth control and antibiotics, I think play their role at certain times, but they also have side effects. And I think that my acne was definitely a side effect of continuous use of both of those. I had a ton of really odd health issues over the years, and a lot of those health issues resembled things that a doctor would prescribe antibiotics for. And so when I'd go into the doctor and they'd run the tests, even though the tests would say that I didn't need antibiotics, they're like, all your symptoms point to this, so we're gonna give you antibiotics anyways. So I took a ridiculous amount of antibiotics from the age of like 22 to 24, 25, like 3+ times a year, which is a lot. And antibiotics, while they kill the good bacteria, they also, or the bad bacteria, they also kill the good bacteria. They kind of decimate everything. And modern science is really coming to realize how important the gut is. We're more bacteria than we are human cells, so we need our gut to be full of that good bacteria. And while antibiotics are totally life-saving, overprescribing them tends to have more negative effects than positive effects. So birth control, antibiotics, and then the third thing for me was stress. Stress comes in a lot of different forms. For me, a lot of it was stress around food. I come from an eating disorder background, and I really feel very, very grateful that I've been able to, over the years, rebuild my relationship with food and my relationship with my body. But I did a lot of extreme diet type things, and that causes a lot of physical stress on the body, but it also causes a lot of mental stress because I'd be out in the world and be like, I can't eat this, I can't eat that, I can't eat this. So I don't really, at least in this video, want to dive into the ways that I was extreme with food, but I'll just say that I know that the stress I had around eating impacted the way that that food digested in my body. So to me, I feel like those were the three biggest factors in what caused my acne. And I also think that acne in general it's a result of what's happening on the inside. Like if everything is in homeostasis internally, it's pretty unlikely that you're gonna have acne on your skin. It's I think it's natural, especially as women, to get maybe a little breakout around your cycle because your hormones are transitioning. However, for the most part, like your skin should be pretty clear if you are in a healthy state. And so like I said earlier, I had a ton of health related issues, and my external landscape definitely matched my internal landscape. So my acne healing story is really connected. It's like this with my health and physical healing story, but I'm going to try to just kind of stay with the acne part. Okay, so when it comes to lifestyle changes that made the biggest difference, there are a couple of things that came to mind. I don't want to lean super heavily into products because I know that people get really weird about that, but there are a couple of products that I do think really helped me. Down in the description of the video, I have a link to products I love, and that product line made the biggest impact. It's basically a highly concentrated fruit and vegetable capsules that I have been taking every single day for 2.5 years. And I think just getting a massive amount of micronutrients and antioxidants has played such a big role in my body rebuilding itself. So I saw a dramatic improvement when I started that. I didn't make any other lifestyle changes, and yeah, that maybe got me like 80% better. There's another product that I am not affiliated with at all. That was a DIM supplement, like DIM. And my understanding of DIM is that it is part of the active ingredients in cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower. And what it does is it helps you to release excess estrogen, or to like move bad estrogens out of your system. So the combination of those two, I would say, got my skin, I don't know, maybe like 90% better. I think I also did a lot more resting. And I know nobody wants to hear that, but I've been going to acupuncture once a week for like 7 months now, if I can, if I'm home. And I've been doing a lot more like yin and restorative meditation, yoga nidra, just giving my body downtime so that it has time to heal itself. And so I feel like the combination of giving my body rest and giving it a chance to heal itself, and then giving it some great nutrients that it can use in that process, was absolutely massive. And I think that that's really like the main things that got me to a point where my skin was like I said, like 95% better. It wasn't completely perfect, but it was doing pretty well. I was a lot more confident to leave my house without makeup and everything like that. And then, you know, even after all of that, I still had really bad acne scars and just some impacted pores where like no matter what I did, they just still looked like a big bump. And that's when I started the journey with Dr. Gail King at Regen Aspen, and that was what the post was about this week on Instagram that you all responded to. So looking at my clock, I actually need to head out so that I can make it there in time. So I'm just gonna bring you guys along with me to this treatment and show you what it is, kind of talk you through it. And then after that treatment, I will talk you through what the treatments that I did with Dr. King at Regen, because a lot of you had questions about that. And for me, that was kind of like the last piece of the puzzle. You know, I feel like I got myself like 95% there from lifestyle changes, and then that was like the last, you know, 5% where it's like I truly felt confident in my own skin. So let's go. Okay, so my face is a little shiny because it has the numbing stuff on it, but you can see what it looks like without any makeup on. Already starting to lose feeling in my lips. This is the only treatment that I've done where you actually have to put numbing agent on. The rest of them, there's like no sensation or anything like that, and it's just super chill. But this one, this will be the second time I've done this one, and that will be it. I think this is the end of my treatment plan. So anyways, this stuff has to be on for about 30 minutes, and then we get to do the treatment. All right, my friends, this is what I look like now. So I am driving home now, and my face definitely feels like a little bit burny and tingly, kind of, it feels like hot, if you will. It's definitely a little red. I'm not sure if you can tell in this light, but nothing too crazy. Anyways, I'm super hungry, so I'm going to grab a bite to eat at home, and then I will sit down with you guys and break down all the different treatments I've done. So I think this is a great time to emphasize the importance of food. I just had like the most amazing, nourishing meal. And I don't think, like for me, having a certain specific type of diet didn't cure my acne. I got a lot of people when I was dealing with acne being like, go vegan, go paleo, try keto. And I did try, I've tried certain lifestyles like that for extended periods of time. Like I gave them a full go, and I never found that any specific one impacted my acne like any better than any of the other ones. I think the biggest thing for me is just like eat real food as much as you can. Eat real food, eat things that don't have like a super long ingredient list, or like if at all possible, like no ingredient list, like literally just the ingredient itself, and make the food yourself. I know that we live in a time of you know, trying to make things as quick and easy as possible. And I think that the more real, nourishing food you can get into your body, the better. And I feel like that's made all the impact on my health. And coming from the disordered eating background, for me, taking the stress out of eating a specific way has been really, really helpful. And just like I said, emphasize eating real whole foods as much as humanly possible. Also live a little, be a human, but you know, as much as possible, nourish your body with things that are going to help it repair itself. So that was a major component that I feel like I didn't talk about before. Okay, so treatment-wise, I have had 3 different treatments, but I've had them a number of different times. In the beginning, they were having me alternate between 2 treatments to really help get any of those like compacted pores to release, and just to get some of the surface level scarring to start to heal, and any like leftover residual acne. So the first 2 treatments were called the Isolaz, and then I think it was called the Silk Peel, and it was a dermal infusion. And And so the Isolaz is a device that they put water on and then they suction it. So it has like an air suction, and then it's a bright flash of light. It's not quite a full laser. It is more on the light spectrum, like not all the way to being a laser. However, you do have to wear protective glasses for it. There was no downtime for me. Like basically I walked out looking like a little flushed, but I didn't walk out looking like super red or anything like that. And that one, the intention is the bright light actually kills any bacteria, which prevents new acne from forming, and it does help to break up some of the compacted pores or impacted pores. And then the other one was called the Silk Peel, and it wasn't actually a peel. It's also like a kind of suction type device that has a little dermabrasion head in it, microdermabrasion head, and then it infuses a serum into your skin while it's going. Neither of those treatments had, like, you didn't need any topical numbing agent or anything like that. They weren't painful. They're super mild. The first one has like a little sensation, but it really wasn't bad. And the Silk Peel, the first time around they used a more like acne treating serum that they're infusing in while they're doing the microdermabrasion. But then after that they were working with more like a super moisturizing serum to help my skin heal itself because it's so dry where I live. And so they were having me alternate those two treatments back and forth. So I do one and then the next week I do the other. And I think I did about 4 to 6 of each. It's hard for me to remember, but kind of a lot. It definitely was a full-on thing. But at the end of that, you know, I really didn't have any of those impacted pores anymore. My scarring had faded so dramatically, and I was feeling so much more confident in my skin. And from there, they felt like my acne was under control enough to move on to the next, the final treatment, which is the treatment that you guys actually saw today. So I've done that treatment 2 times. Today was my second time. And that one is definitely a little bit more extreme. You do need a numbing agent on your face, and even with the numbing agent, it kind of hurts. It definitely doesn't feel pleasant. It feels, I think I said it in that video, almost like a hole punch sensation. Not as big around as a hole punch, but you definitely feel it. It is called the Morpheus 8. Kind of a crazy name. It's a new type of treatment, and what it does is it's microneedling, which you might be familiar with, but it also has a radio frequency that it emits, which apparently really helps the skin regenerate. And so it's great for acne scars. I think it's also great for like wrinkles and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm 29 years old. I'm not really quite worried about that yet, but it's the first time around when we did it, within like a month, my skin looked so dramatically better, like so much, almost all my scars had completely faded. I really felt like it worked really well. I don't know if you can tell in this slide, I'm definitely a little bit red after. Like Sam was asking me if I wanted to go, you know, out to dinner or anything. I'm like, I think tonight I'm gonna stay in. It's a little rosy. But the downtime last time wasn't too bad. And yeah, I'm super excited. This was hopefully my last treatment. So I guess the thing I want to say to sum up this video is that for me, healing my acne has been a multiple step journey. And because I had so many underlying health issues, it was more like I was focusing on healing my health first, and then my acne kind of cleared up with it, and then having to resolve kind of the aftermath of having acne for 5 years and being a picker. I wish I could say that I didn't pick at my skin, but I really do. So if you have acne and you're a picker, if there's anything you can do to stop it, it will really help you once you get to a place where your acne does resolve. Because if I hadn't picked my skin, I probably wouldn't have had such an uphill battle with scarring. So for me, the main things were really just focusing on overall wellness, taking care of my health, taking care of my body from the inside out, so that it can, like, the outside can reflect the inside, if you will. And then I do think that the external treatments were really effective, but I don't know if I would have wanted to, I would have wanted to make sure I was doing all the things for the internal part first, so that, you know, if you are making the investment to do lasers or any of the treatments that I did, that you're really like getting your bang for your buck, and you're not having to go back again in a year to redo it because you had really bad acne. So Anyways, if you follow me for PCT stuff, this is probably a super random video, but I got a lot of requests for it. And honestly, if I really dig in and think about it, one of the things that held me back from maybe doing the PCT sooner was just a little bit of like fear about not having makeup on for 4.5 months because my skin was so bad. Maybe that's sad to say. I think some of you guys will think that's pathetic, but I think some of you guys will also probably relate to what having acne does for your confidence. So I'm super excited to jump into this PCT journey and not have to be worrying about my skin, that I could just really focus on enjoying the experience and being present. So yeah, that's it for now. If you have any follow-up questions to anything that I shared, please don't hesitate to ask down in the comments below. As always, if there's any topics you want me to cover here on YouTube, I'm still kind of figuring out what I like to share here, so definitely shoot those down below in the comments. And as always, if you like this video or any of my videos, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you guys soon. See you next week.